Parents, if you want to come down and get closer, that's fine.
Just get my other side. Oh, people sorry. It's not. All right, stay tuned.
Hey, congratulations again. Thank you all for being here, folks. Take your time.
Sorry, she was all excited to see breakfast and get out.
Thank you again, everyone. That's an incredible thing. It's like a dynasty. Did you, Kevin, excuse me, Dr. McNamara, how many years out of? 3 out of 4. That's incredible. That's just unbelievable. Congratulations to the players, our coaches for all the dedication. Kevin, excuse me, Dr. McNamara, anything else? No, it's right to Dr. Monaco. Yep, absolutely. Dr. Monaco, please, with the assistant superintendent's report.
Thank you so much. So this evening I'm going to review the state's accountability results. So the state uses a star rating system with 5 stars being the highest that any school can achieve. The way that it works though is they use several different metrics, and whatever your score is in the lowest one is the alternate rating that you get for the entire school. So you can see that across our elementary and middle school, they use 4 different metrics for this. So I'm just going to quickly review those. We have school quality and student success. And that is comprised of what they're looking at here is student absenteeism, teacher absenteeism, suspensions, and then the percentage of students exceeding expectations on the state assessments in ELA and math. And that was a very strong category for us. As you can see going down, we had almost all 5s and then 1 4 at Lincoln Middle School. So that was an excellent indicator for us. Achievement and growth is just what it sounds like. They look at the state assessment results and they see what your proficiency is in ELA, math, and science, and then they also look at student growth. We did have an increase in Central from 4 to 5 stars, and that was very exciting to see. Central had an overall star rating of 5 stars. We actually had 3 of our schools that went up 1. It was Central, Lincoln Middle School, and Lincoln High School. They all went up 1 star overall. Our English language proficiency was also a very strong indicator all the way down. You'll see NAs on a few of them. That's because the population size at that school is lower than 20. So although they do some calculations, they actually don't assign stars to it. Northern went up from 4 to 5 stars in that category. Lincoln Middle School went from 2 to 4 stars, and then the high school also went from 2 to 4 stars as far as English language proficiency, so that was wonderful news. And then low performing subgroups, they assign number of stars based on the number of low performing subgroups that you have. I'm going to be getting into that a little bit more in a second, but you'll see Central and Lonsdale had 5 stars. That means that there were no low performing subgroups for them. Salesville, Lincoln Middle School, and Lincoln High School, 4 stars and 1 low performing subgroup, and then Northern had 2, which is why they received the 3 stars in that area. You'll notice that the high school has a few more indicators. They have the graduation rate and diploma plus. Graduation rate, they look at, for this one, it was the class of 2024 for not only the 4-year, but then the composite, the 4, 5, and 6 years. We had received 3 stars in that, missing that threshold of 90% by 1 percentage point. We had 89% and needed the 90 for it to be the 5 stars. And then Diploma Plus looks at a lot of those areas such as AP credits, college credits, CTE, the seal of biliteracy, and then the percentage of students that are achieving in both ELA and mathematics, and we had a 4 star for that indicator.
Can I just jump in there? I just want to reiterate Dr. Monaco's first point. To have all of our schools at 5 stars or 4 stars in that first indicator is really excellent, because that's, how are we achieving? What is the overall climate and culture of the school? That's really important to me. And I think it's important that the community understands the dynamics of the star rankings, and you cannot be higher than your lowest star. And there are reasons, for that, and we will address them. And whether it's a point or whatever at the high school for the graduation rate, those things happen over time. Sometimes there are blips in the radar where a class just struggles a little bit more than others, because we're not comparing growth over time. We're comparing classes to classes, and classes have different characteristics and different makeup, and they're different kids. So I always want to call out when we're looking at growth over time, or we're looking at separate cohorts against one another.
And then if we look at our subgroups that are identified for attention and support, it's called targeted support and improvement. I do want to report out that Central and Lonsdale had subgroups last year, but the faculty there and principals there really honed in on that subgroup, and we are no longer in TSI status at those schools. For Northern Salesville, middle school and the high school, students with disabilities were placed into that TSI rating for the reason of achievement and growth, and then Northern English learners. And I have no doubt that, again, even though this accountability rating just came out, I want to assure the committee that we've been working on all these improvements since the beginning of the year, and we'll continue to do so.
But we got 5 stars for English language proficiency at Northern, even though we have a subgroup. Just if you can follow the meandering logic of the star system, good luck.
It's an imperfect system for sure, but our teams do a wonderful job of doing the analysis far beyond what the star ratings are for the purpose of education. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Any committee members like to interject anything? I would like to say thank you for this, but also this has been a pet peeve of mine for several years, that unfortunately this is how the rating is. I don't agree with it. I think it's really unfortunate that I think all our schools are exceptional. We grow constantly, and unfortunately with that caveat of whatever that one low score is on that one topic affects the overall rating. If you look at, I don't know what the percentage is, but 12 out of 15 is just as a number. That's a pretty good batting average in any world that I'm involved in. But no, thank you for this. Certainly great information. Anyone have any comments?
I would like to echo Dr. Mongo's note about how hard the faculty works and the level of depth that this is analyzed to. This is an overall, this is a high level view. The schools and the data teams and the MTSS teams, they really go into detail and are looking at child level data and tracking it over time. And obviously achievement and growth is going to be our focus, particularly overall we really achieve compared to peers across the state.
Certainly, I guess, and I'll just follow up with by saying how lucky we are that it's an incredible, our schools, our educators are phenomenal. And certainly, I'm so grateful for the matrix, but this piece of paper doesn't really tell the whole story, that's for sure. So thank you all. Mayor, Mrs. Roll.
So just one thing, I really think that the impact or the score in the English language proficiency is something that we should celebrate because that's for us, a relatively small population of students, very high need. And I'm hoping that we can continue to support those students adequately regardless of where the funding is coming from, right? I worry about this. And then secondly, I think in terms of, I agree, for one of the areas that are my concern is like the growth piece. So my sense is that could be something of interest to families, right? When they look at their kids' reports, right? So how that messaging takes place with them is really important, and that they have an understanding of what the district is doing, what the school is doing, what's happening in the classroom to address that concern. And I have absolute confidence in this team's ability to do that. So, but I think we should celebrate. We need to celebrate, the good news here, and move forward. And I know we will.
Yeah, we're considered now a medium incident district as far as English language learners, but you have to understand that there are a lot of teachers who are working together to lead to this success, and they're doing a great job.
Great point, certainly. Thank you, Ms. Roll. We'll move on. Old business. There is no old business to report. New business. Item A. Consider to vote on superintendent's recommendation to terminate employee relationship with certified staff member effective at the end of the school year and suspend her without pay until that time. Do I have a motion? Do I have a second?
Second.
Under discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item B, discuss and approve the 2026 and 2027 school committee meeting calendar. Do I have a motion? Do I have a second? Second. Any discussion?
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
That's okay. I'll move along. I will move along. Item C, discussion and approve second reading student activity special grant and other fund policy IGE. Do I have a motion? I have a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Item D, discussion approved 2026 speech service Rhode Island LLC agreement. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second. Do I have a second? Excuse me. I'm used to being second. I apologize. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Item E, discuss approve Council 94 rate schedule. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Item F, discuss approve technology computer technician job description. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Any discussion? Oh, go right ahead, Ms.
So
Roll.
I did take a look at these, I have had some concerns about the management of the district's website. So within this description and the one that follows it, I would think that there's something there that will address that. So I don't know whether this is then a question of skill or time or,
So the impending changes in the tech department, we have a couple of retirements coming up. What I would like to do is remain strong at where people are strong, they need to stay in those, have those as part of their job descriptions. So we would look at, if there are replacements, we would want them to pick up with perhaps the other people are not as strong or not as comfortable. So we can have people doing the jobs that they really need to do and know best.
so that, we have, this is like, I think the third or fourth iteration of the website that we had, and I've had the same concerns going forward, and one of the big ones is the ability to search using a keyword. This is really helpful with policies, for example. If you just put in a keyword and rather than trying to read through a whole list of numbers or letters that don't tell you much, or even the title. So I just, I understand that this is a time-consuming process, but the maintenance of the content so important. So they're making it easy to access in terms of, not only our parent community, us, and the public as well. So I appreciate that.
Excellent, thank you. So we have a motion, we have a second, all in favor? Excellent. Item G, discuss approve informational technology specialist job description. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Under subcommittee reports, are there any subcommittee reports this evening? Oh, did I miss? Oh, excuse me, I'm jumping the gun. School committee reports. Do we have any school committee reports? Nothing reported. We'll move on to subcommittee reports.
Policy will be following this meeting in the meeting center.
Excellent, thank you for that. Item A, budget process timeline. Mr. Bill, would you like to update us on that, Dr. McIntyre?
So just as a note, January gets busy. We've got our special budget workshop Monday, January 5th at 5:30 p.m. here in the media center. And then the following, we will work on it. We will present it to you. Mrs. Devine will present the drivers, the big things that we're working on, we're facing, we're challenged by. You will give us feedback. We will then come back on the 26th. We'll have another presentation probably at our January meeting, and then we'll vote on the final product to transfer over to the town on January 26th.
Excellent, thank you for the update. If we could, obviously, those meetings are extremely important. Certainly the feedback that that's probably one of the most important jobs that we have sitting up here. So certainly encourage you if you're able to make all of those. It's very important. Moving along, community comment. Do we have any community comment? None. With that said, before we adjourn, I'd just like to say, as we're certainly, I believe this is our last meeting before the holiday, how grateful I am, and I know all of us, and certainly I'll give everyone the opportunity to speak, how grateful we are for Dr. McNamara, his team, and I can name all of his, quite frankly, your names are not synonymous with the excellence that we have here in Lincoln. But certainly to the teachers, our support staff, everyone that makes Lincoln such a special, special place. With that, would anyone else like to add anything, interject anything?
We're grateful for the committee.
Oh.
I'm second, let's use that.
Excellent, thank you. With that said, I will say Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. I will take a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Have a wonderful night, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Use it now.